Space Hunter Senso. This is a quick video that will go through the Space Hunter Senso components and how to play the Space Hunter. Let's start off with the materials that come with the Space Hunter. The basic rules of the game, the rules that are unique to the Space Hunter cover artwork by Brad McDevitt, the board that comes with the game. It's a two-player board that's folded in half. And then what you see down here is actually the free Arena PDF that you can download. I printed that and then took it to a local print shop to have it laminated as a placemat. It has the player sheet and it has 6 card holders. It can use potentially every location can be used with the Space Hunter. Now the actions. Space Hunter gets all the standard actions that are available in the game. So here are the basic move, attack, and block actions. Put those off to the side. And then of course there are the advanced movement actions of the leap and the flying attack actions. So he's got all those to choose from. Now weapons. The problem with the Space Hunter is similar to the Gladiator in the sense that he only gets 8 points worth of inventory and you'll want to spend more than 8 points. So I'm going to show you lots of abilities, but you'll only get 8 points worth. His only hand weapon that he has is the Metal Claw. Now the Metal Claw has an interesting pattern. It's actually 3 locations, the space in front and on either side. It is a one-handed weapon. So the Space Hunter can take the Metal Claw and equip it and use it to attack with. If he chooses to use up the inventory, which this is 3 inventory each, which would be 6 points, he could take a second Metal Claw and use dual wielding. So he can dual wield. He's a dual wield class. Let me go through dual wield quickly. In this example, he's dual wielding for extra damage, because there's 2 ways to dual wield. Extra damage takes your offhand weapon, and anytime you strike someone with the offhand weapon, it doesn't give you score, it only does 5 damage. So a normal hit with the primary weapon is 5 score for you, 5 damage to your opponent if they don't block it. The second attack is an additional 5 damage. So you can think of this as 10 damage, 5 score for you based on the dual wielding this way. Now if your opponent blocks the attack, they don't lose any damage, so it'll just be 5 score for you with no damage. The second way to dual wield is to flip it 180 degrees and then you basically add the pattern together. Well, in this case, nobody should play the Space Hunter using it for extra pattern, because if you look at that, you're sacrificing 2 of the locations. You're paying 3 inventory for this, 3 inventory for this, 6 inventory are being used, and if you attack using the extra pattern method, you're basically overlapping 2 of the locations. So do not play the Space Hunter with the extra pattern method of dual wielding. Only play it if you're going to dual wield for extra damage. Okay, that's a quick look at the Metal Claws and how the Space Hunter can use them for dual wielding. Let's go into some of the abilities that you have that are unique to the Space Hunter besides the Metal Claw. The first one I'm going to cover is the Force Shell. It's a 3 inventory item. It replaces your block. Now the Force Shell gives the Space Hunter the ability to absorb damage. So essentially, any damage is taken from acid blood sprays, from direct hits, are absorbed. It can absorb up to 10 points. We'll put markers on here or keep a side score tally to keep track of the score or the amount of damage it's absorbed. Once it's absorbed the 10 points worth of damage, any extra that carry over will go to a minus score on the Space Hunter, and this item is discarded. So it's there until it absorbs everything. But he could then play a new block and put a new block up. So that's one way that the Space Hunter can defend himself. Now the next thing that we have is the Auto Laser. The Auto Laser is something that can become very powerful. In the base game, we intentionally made it weak, and there's some optional rules, and I'll talk about the optional rules in a second. But the primary way to use this item is a 2 inventory item. You can start the game with it up. You will orient it in whatever direction you want the Auto Laser to go off at. So let's do something interesting here. Now in this case, the Space Hunter comes, I'm giving him a purple chip. That's what he comes with. Let's say that I'm sitting at this location and my Auto Laser is pointing, so it's going to fire in this way. And now we have a Red Ninja that comes in here, and Mr. Red Ninja decides he's going to move from this location to this location. When he moves and he crosses the path of the Auto Laser, think of it as a line. The first player or enemy to cross the line or path of the auto laser will get struck with it. And it won't matter whether or not, this just happens completely independent of whatever actions the Space Hunter's taking. So as soon as the red ninja comes over, he will get struck by the auto laser, and it's 1 point attack. So it's 1 score, 1 damage. So not a high score, high damage, but once the attack goes off, the card goes back in the hand. The Space Hunter can then take the time to put it down as an action in a different orientation and wait for it to come up and then use it again. Now we have an optional rule that says you can soup up the inventory on this and make it more powerful. So for higher inventory you can make it more powerful. That's in the rules. I'm not going to cover that in the video here, but that's the auto laser. Distortion shell. And this is kind of the ability to phase or warp the position of the Space Hunter. Now it's actually an ability, it's 3 points. The Space Hunter has to pay for this ability. Most abilities are free for the class. The Space Hunter will put the ability card up here in his starting location, and what this allows the Space Hunter to do is before actions are revealed, so you'll have locked actions down here, before actions are revealed, the Space Hunter can say, wait a minute, I'm going to distort. He will take the distortion shell card, put it back in his hand. He can then move himself any one location that's not occupied by another player. So let's say that my Space Hunter was planning on attacking in this direction next turn. I know that this attack I'm going to reveal is this way. And I think that this opponent's going to be attacking maybe towards me or something else. I decide that I'm going to distort myself 1 space away to here, so that I know as long as he's not moving and he's standing still, my attack card that I haven't revealed yet, and I'll put one there just to make it, to give you an example, hasn't been revealed yet. I'll take the time to use my distortion shell, move myself in a position where that attack will become more effective. When the actions are revealed, if this player didn't move, I can hit him. So the distortion shell is a tactical advantage. It can allow you to move yourself in positions to avoid attacks or to position yourself to attack an opponent. It's really powerful. It can be reused. So after you put the card back in your hand, if you decide, you can play it back up here. When it comes up, it's revealed. It will be placed here. You cannot use it the turn it's revealed, but then after that you can use it at any time. Called self-destruct. Now, we always say this is optional because it's nasty and players get very frustrated with this. So any game that you play with Space Hunter, you talk with the players that are playing and you decide whether or not you want to make this available to the Space Hunter as an option. It's a 2 inventory item. When revealed, the Space Hunter will pop this up and reveal it as an action. The Space Hunter has 2 more actions he can reveal, and then that thing goes off as an explosion. And here's how the explosion works. I'm going to back everything off. If I'm the Space Hunter, the center of the board would be the best space to be for this. And I got a couple ninjas out here. Well, let's say they're close to start. I reveal that. That's all I do that turn. They know, every opponent in the board knows that if 2 more actions, that is going to go off. Now, I get 2 more actions, they get 2 more actions. They will tend to try and run. So let's say these guys start to run, they run this way, but I'm going to start coming at them because I want to make sure I keep as close to them as possible. And let's say he moves to here, and then he moves to here. Or actually, let's say this player moves to here, he leaps. So let's say that's where everybody ended their movement before the actions come through and that last action of mine is revealed. When the self-destruct goes off, it does 10 points damage to every, or 9 points damage to every adjacent space, and then counts down from there. So, actually 10, then 9, then 8. So everybody that's adjacent to the Space Hunter when it goes off would take 10 points of damage here. You don't get any score for it though. Then it goes to 9. Then, so if you count, it's 10, 9, this player would take 8 points damage. 10, 9, 8, 7. This player would take 7 points damage. Cannot block. Alright, that's a quick look at the Space Hunter. If you're interested in how to play the game or more variants in the game, there are videos that show you how to play and other variants on the website at twinbladegames.com. Thank you.